This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi everyone, I'm Matt Doolittle in for Mitch English.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, your source for trending news and entertainment.
So usually I don't get caught up in the scammer phone calls. I can tell, or my phone will say it. This was after I had my little fall down, go boom, so I was just like, the phone number comes up, you're like, oh, what is this now? What is this now?
For those of you who don't know, Matt was on a scooter
I don't
and
ride like
hit a rock and flipped over.
I knew it was going to happen.
Okay,
Anyway, so I get this call and I let it go to voicemail, and it sounds pretty legit. It goes, for the county we live in, this is the sheriff's deputy for this county, something. We had an incident. You need to give us a call back at your earliest convenience. And I'm going, okay, there wasn't any police involved in this thing. This was my own fall down.
So you thought it was connected to your accident. Okay.
So immediately you get that and your heart starts going like crazy.
Of course.
He didn't leave a phone number. So I called the county that was in, and they were like, that deputy doesn't even work here. So I called it back to try to mess with him. And immediately he just starts going into this, well, you missed a court date and you have to pay us a fine and let me get my supervisor. And I looked up the name he gave me. I don't want to say the name out there, but I looked up the name, and there's a whole string of these going on across the country. Same name of the deputy, but they didn't even leave the phone number for it. But if you get one of those calls, immediately, because this is what the sheriff's department told me, just call the sheriff's department directly. They will never ask you for money. They'll never ask you for gift cards. I didn't even get to that far in it because I was just like, my wife's like, calm down.
I love the fact that they want to get paid in gift cards.
Yeah.
You can pay your ticket with a gift card. Since when?
It's a whole thing that you missed a court day and all this, but he had my address, which freaked me out. But I mean, that you can find out anybody's address online. So I guess they just have a list of it, but be careful with those scammers, especially this time of year. And it just scared me because it's not like I still get them for my dad, and he's been dead for 5 years. Like, oh, we're gonna come pick up Jim Doolittle for a violation. I'm like, good luck. Here you go. Take him with you. I don't know. Yeah, he's in the ocean. But just be careful with when you hear the sheriff's department from your county call, kind of.
But it does remind you about how many mailing lists, where your information is going, every time you sign up for a new website, every time you sign up for purchasing something, you name it, your name, your address, your phone number, your email address, it's all available 24/7 on the web.
Yeah, and I watch those scammer guys, they get into it with those people, and they come off legit, and I just really feel bad for the elderly people or the ones that don't realize that was coming in. But what really got me was he didn't leave a phone number to call back.
Well, but his phone number was on
the
phone.
His phone number was on the phone, but he didn't leave it for him to call back. You'd think they would say, hey, call back da-da-da-da-da-da number, but it was a scam number.
I always like it when I get the phone calls from Los Angeles and the woman speaks in Chinese and she tells me that I'm in trouble with the IRS. And I'm like, okay, and I can't understand a thing, but
I'll speak back in Chinese.
Yes.
Yeah. And you can hear the call center in the background.
Exactly. And dogs barking. All right, okay, sure, I'll get right on that.
Yeah, so just be careful.
Yes, good advice there. A man in Sydney was kidnapped and beat up by 4 men, including the victim's brother-in-law. It was all caught on camera as well. Images of the kidnapping played out in an Australian courtroom where 2 suspects appeared for sentencing. The motive for the kidnapping appears to be revenge. One suspect believed the victim married his sister to score an Australian visa. The photos of the crime from 2023 show the suspects putting the victim in a headlock while the guy's brother-in-law sits next to him in a car. Police eventually pulled the car over as it traveled from Melbourne to Guildford, a 9-hour road trip. Wow. All 4 men confessed to their part in the crime.
And it's always good to document your kidnapping with your cell phone in the car.
It's good memories, man.
Yeah, hey,
remember that time when we got kidnapped?
At the next family get-together. Hey, remember when you kidnapped your husband?
It's so amazing to me, like crimes that have been committed within the last decade, the digital footprint that is left behind everywhere.
Well, if your phone is on, they can ping it and follow you. Or I love these guys that'll be like, oh, I didn't have my phone for 9 hours. And it's like, you never don't have your phone. What?
Right.
Like I've turned around like 30 minutes to go back and get my phone because I'm like, oh, I can't live without it.
Oh, so it was turned off while you were on a road trip? Okay.
Yeah, and it didn't ping off of those places because I get roped into the HLN murder stories now, so I know all these tricks. And these are before cell phones, some of them.
All right, stay with us. We'd love to hear from you as far as your digital footprint goes. You can head to our website. Sound off is the button, dailyflashshow.com.
Don't kidnap your family members.
Don't.